If you're a graduate and you're struggling at the minute, you're about to leave university or you've just left university, this video is for you. Last week, a friend's son came to see me and he spent 3 hours with me in my office, and I was sort of reminded about why I love doing the things that I do at Job Ready English. He's 22, very smart, British, phenomenal young man, really well put together, and I wouldn't have spent 3 hours with him if I didn't like him. But he was crushed. You know, he'd just lost a job, a service job, which was, you know, way below his skill level, and he was like, what the fuck? And I had another young woman come down to see me today, and she was like, why does no one want me? Why does not, like, what's wrong with me? And it's very hard to not internalize that stuff. And if you're feeling like that, it's not that nobody wants you. It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that the world is such a noisy place, and it takes some finessing to get noticed. Because really it's about getting noticed. It's not about being good enough. You're not really competing with anybody as such. And I wanted to put together like a video. Imagine you've just come to my office and you're sitting there talking with me. You're a young person and you just want a little bit of TLC. You want somebody who's traveled the road say, hey, actually this is what you need to do. And I put the link down to all of the stuff which you can download. It's free. It's going to be down in the description below, because seeing a couple of young people recently has really reminded me that and getting loads of cool comments and nice emails from people has reminded me that I started Job Ready English because I wanted to help people, because I thought our ability to help young people today in careers and in life is really shit. That's the dog. All right, dog. And it's just really poor. And I was lucky because somebody helped me. But you know, what if you haven't got any help? What if you don't have anybody who's there for you? And I'm 38, and sometimes I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Let me put a light on. This is really dark. 1 second. Ah, much better. So, you know, first things first is get your CV done. And I really mean get your CV done, and really understand that people will not look at your CV. Your CV will be looked at by an algorithm. It will be parsed, it will be scanned, you know, it will be read, but a human is very unlikely to sit there and look at your CV. And even if they do, it just needs to be readable. Fancy designs are a complete waste of time. They are a money-making scheme, as is a lot of stuff in sort of general. You know, someone was talking to me the other day about brushing your dog's teeth, and I was like, what a load of horse shit. When dogs have been around for thousands of years, I think they're fine without having their teeth brushed. This is just nonsense. And being an ad man, I can definitely attest to our you know, our penchants to create a need where maybe there isn't a need, right? It's certainly not something that I've tried to do, but I see it all the time in advertising, where people are like, oh my God, but I need this latest fat loss thing. And writing your CV is really some very basic, simple ideas. Number one, have your name. If your name is difficult to pronounce, have a nickname. Is that not fair? Maybe, but would you rather get overlooked just because somebody struggles to pronounce your name? Contact number, have an email address that isn't like awesomeskater99@gmail.com. The young man who came to see me last week had an email that he'd had since he was like 13. It was a funny email, like I got it. I was just like, dude, you can't have that email. Let's make you, like, it's just first name dot last name, some numbers @gmail.com. And have your postcode. You don't have to have your full address, but your postcode will denote when a company is looking for somebody, they will look based upon geographical location. Some places may well be nationwide, but ask yourself this honestly. Are you more likely to date someone who lives a mile away, 5 miles away, or 50 miles away? You know, and ultimately businesses, though faceless, are just made up of people, right? And this algorithm which is passing your CV is still, you know, the results are going to be fed to a human somewhere. So imagine it's like a scoring system. So they can say they're like a 95% match, these guys are a 90% match, and so on and so forth, right? Someone is then going to look at that and go, that's great, they're a 95% match, but they're like 300 miles away. I'd rather just have the guy who was close by. Then you've got your education. The biggest mistake, and I've looked at thousands of CVs, I still probably get sent 30 to 50 CVs a week, and the ones that I look at, they're pretty much almost always bad. You know, and in your education, the only thing that people care about, right, or the algorithm, the application tracking system cares about is where did you go, what did you study, what grade did you get? And most people won't put down their grade, right? And if you want to get a really top graduate job and you don't have a 2-1, that's okay. You can apply for other jobs, but don't hide it, because the lack of it will not mean that people overlook it. It just means that it won't get matched, right? And then you put in the modules for your degree. And you're like, well, I studied like 78 different modules. Just do the modules that are related to the job that you're going to be applying for. Don't need to put the other modules. Do you need to put your dissertation? Only if it's relevant to the job that you're applying for. Your rule of thumb is always, is this thing, this word, this sentence, this paragraph relevant to the job that I'm applying for? Because if it's not, don't put it in. It's not worth it, right? It's not relevant to anybody. It's like going to a job at a burger bar and saying, I love fly fishing. Good for you, but how is that relevant to a job at a burger bar, right? And then when you're listing out your work experience, the way that you can really quickly, and this is contained in the template down in the description below, the way that you can very quickly edit and amend your CV for different jobs is you list out the bullet points for the job, 3 or 4, right? And dude, I'm really sorry, but that 3-day internship you did is not a real job. If you've got nothing else, put it in, but if you haven't, don't put it. It's not a real job, right? So you have your 3 or 4 bullet points that you put in, and these should be quantifiable, like not you made a lot of sales calls. It should be like, I made 50 sales calls a day. Not you increased revenue. It'd be like, I delivered £100 worth of additional revenue per day. So make sure there's a number, there is a factoid behind it, right? And then underneath 1, 2, 3, then you've got your key skills learned. And you look at the job description, you take out the key skills that they're looking for, as long as it's true or within the realms of belief, and you add those into your CV, right? That's how you match. Now, you can use something like JobScan, which is, I think you can get a free trial, and there are other places which is ATS matching or ATS CV checkers, right? There's more and more of them. And you can use that basically to understand how good a match your CV is to the job description. Because the reason why no one's getting back to you is because your CV just doesn't match the job description. And here's and you can list out your extracurricular activity, your skills and interests, that's probably not as important, but if it's relevant, then put it in, right? References, no one cares until you've got the job, then you can do that. Pretty little tables which, do a little line and says this is how you're good at your stuff, no one cares. Because the other thing to recognize is your CV should all be in one column, because a computer will read your CV like this, yeah? So if you've got 2 columns, then it just doesn't make sense. And then you save your CV as a PDF and try to have some sort of feedback loop. So I like to say every 10 jobs. And this, I can expand upon this and lay out a full plan. And if you want that, then put put a comment down below, because otherwise I just think, oh, this is content that doesn't really work. So every 10 jobs you're like, did I get a response? If not, why not? What could I do better? What am I missing? Doing lots and lots of applications is just, you know, a smoke screen for busyness. So why not do quality over quantity? And always apply directly from the company itself rather than through Indeed or LinkedIn, because you're going to stop yourself getting screened twice and stop yourself competing with the 1,000 other people who also thought one-click apply was a really good and easy idea. So if you're struggling, if you're a young person, just start at the beginning, man, and it all starts with a CV. It all starts with getting that stuff redone. You don't have to buy any fancy templates. Just click down below and you can get the template for free. And I wish you the best of luck. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, let me know. Drop me a comment down below. Just give me a thumbs up. It just helps me to know that this is something that is genuinely useful for you. And, you know, thank you for those 2 young people who came to see me, because it reminded me of why I do Job Real English. And thank you for everybody who left me lovely comments and emails, because I do give a shit. And I do think it's important that somebody helps you.